Thank you, Karen, and thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Joining me on the multiple screens that Allison mentioned is Jamie Bloom, who leads our workforce planning and recruiting team, and also Robert Palmer, who leads our RF Central HR team. HR, if we could go to the next screen. HR is actually located in Townsend Hall on the South Campus. So we would welcome to see any of you if you ever want to drop in while you're here. It's comprised of 8 teams. I have been here 11 months. I joined UB in the fall of 2023 from the University of Connecticut. So it's a pleasure to be here and meet you and continue to evolve the HR services that we hope to over the evolving years. The teams are broken down into customer service, employee relations, workforce planning, RF Central, appointment and payroll processing, benefits, and so forth, all of the various traditional HR functions you would see. In addition, if we could go to the next slide, what I think would be more important for all of you today is not to expound on all the various teams that we have, but really talk about the recruitment cycle and the services that are available to you. So off to the left of the screen, and I know these slides can be shared with links that have already been embedded in the presentation. But off to the left, you'll see the variety of systems that we use to help you manage and recruit all the valuable talent that you'll need to support your research. And Jamie, I don't know if you'd like to, take over the recruitment cycle, but I can as well. It's up to you. No, that's okay. I'll continue, and I'll ask Jamie to pipe in when she can. So the first step in the recruitment cycle is identifying the needs that you'll have to develop your research, and actually the funding. As many of you know, there's a variety of different funding sources at UB, and that's the most important process, which you'll undertake with your local HR leaders, which we'll talk about in a minute. The second, creating a job description. I know it seems daunting. It always is for a variety of people, but if you go on to this link when you have a free moment after today, you'll find that it will talk about developing a workforce plan, understanding the terms and conditions of the Fair Labor Standards Act, which determines whether someone's exempt from overtime, for example, or has to be a time reporter. It will talk about how to create a position summary, a position description, creating an organizational chart. Many people are very proficient at this, but it's just a way to highlight and determine how to create these functions so that the recruitment process is a smooth one. The system that's used to support you in this is UB Jobs. And so you'll become very familiar with this along with your HR leaders as you go through the recruitment process. If you look to the right, posting and recruiting, this is a very important website for hiring managers. So it will create, help you create a timeline, how to determine a salary for your incumbent employee, how to develop the individual posting, forming a search committee, and just a variety of appointment information. Working with your local HR leader and Jamie's team, there's a variety of resources that are available to you. And Jamie, I know this is the most important part of the function from my perspective. Is there anything else you'd like to add there?
Thank you. So they are different toolkits that are set up to help guide you through the step-by-step. So almost like an individual checklist. The most common questions we get asked about related to recruitment is, what order should I do things in? What makes the most sense? Because we all have the same goals of finding the best individuals to fill your vacancies in the shortest amount of time. So it's a great list of tools. In addition to the step-by-step checklist, there are tools there related to how to outreach, how to market and find individuals, different web links you could utilize for additional advertising sources. So we try to create a great comprehensive list that guides through these steps that need to be done related to the recruitment process. It also serves as instruction manuals and guides for anybody who has responsibilities for actually utilizing the UB job system to manage the search on their own if you didn't have administrative staff that was performing those tasks. The toolkits are also broken out, so there is a focus for individuals that are hiring managers, so those who are set up to manage the search process, for members who are a part of a search committee, and we do have a special toolkit available for research foundation positions that maybe want to utilize. We have pooled postings where time can be of the essence for identifying a candidate and placing them in a role. Some of our more common titles that we recruit for in the Research Foundation are available in pooled postings, and they are constantly up on the web to allow somebody to apply for and make a hire immediately. Those guidelines and steps to be able to help you understand how to get applicants there, as well as how to submit their hire information, are available on the web as well. And the purpose of our pooled postings is to provide you with tools to be able to transition that person into employment as quick as possible. If you meet somebody at conferences or other areas where you are networking with individuals and think they would be a great person to help with your research within your labs, the pooled postings can be a great way to be able to recruit them quickly.
And Jamie, I don't know if we want to talk about the actual recruitment process, but once a job is posted, there's a variety of resources to post those to create the type of inclusive excellence and diversity that we hope for, not only among our candidate pools, but among the people that we hire. Is there anything you'd like to share there?
Absolutely. We have an entire section in our toolkit devoted to outreach for inclusive excellence. We talk about language and how the text within the posting can be customized to be able to help attract individuals. We as a university strongly support inclusive excellence, and it's in the language, and we should showcase that for our applicants to recognize. Applicants also, in many dialogues and conversations, they have a value for organizations and schools and colleges and universities that do recognize inclusive excellence and consider people from all walks of life. So it's really important to market to the applicant to showcase what we have to offer here at the university. In addition to that, our advertising sources talk about areas where you can do target outreach and hire individuals. And we are a heavy supporter of what's called cluster hiring, which allows us to recruit and market to individuals in specific underrepresented areas that we want to recruit into a specific job, whether that is through outreach, through targeting with the language. So there are different tools that we have available as well in the toolkit to be able to assist in making that process as easy as possible. Also in the recruitment piece, once a job is submitted, once we receive a posting request in human resources, our team, somebody is assigned to every single posting. So you'll have a combination, and I know we'll share in just a moment your dean's areas. There are HR administrators in every dean's area, but you also have a central HR person assigned to the posting, and they can talk with you in advance about thinking through what are the best ways to, again, showcase our inclusive excellence, showcase diversity and outreach. They can talk through some of those pieces and help you devise a plan to be able to recruit to specific positions.
Thank you, Jamie. In fact, just recently, we have partnered with a variety of organizations and applicant boards that will post our positions among a wide variety of diversity and inclusive job applicant boards. So we really are targeting a more proactive way to search out the kinds of candidates that you hope for your research. In the fourth life cycle, going to the bottom of the page, left side, appointment and onboarding. There, it will help you understand the types and a welcome packet information that would be distributed and how to get that into the hands of your new hire. All types of instructional material on hiring documents, preparing for the new employee's arrival, and also just facilitating onboarding. Depending on the funding source, we have in Bob's team RF payroll and benefit leaders that coordinate bringing on of employees and doing benefit onboarding. For example, in the RF environment, there are 2 paychecks a month, mid-month and the end of the month. For any state funding positions, I know that might be minimal, but it is there. Joining us today is also Amy Miska. I see Amy's face on the screen. Amy manages our benefit onboarding for state funding positions and also a variety of wellness initiatives. We have, for example, a number of wellness efforts that take place across the campus. We are expanding availability to lactation rooms across our campuses, and Amy leads that effort. In addition, submitting timesheets. I know this is probably the most laborious area that anybody ever would like to go through. But there are timesheets both for RF funded and state funded employees who are non-exempt. If you remember earlier on in the presentation, I talked to you about the Fair Labor Standards Act. That is a federal law. It's not something you be made up. So bear with us as we go through those efforts each year and make assessments about FLSA. But those timesheets will be instructional. That effort on that link will help people understand what they need to do on either a monthly basis, or some people like to keep track of things weekly, which is obviously an easier process. And then feedback and development. So with that, on the training and development side, we use a system called UB Edge. We have an entire team. Kelly Hennessy, who reports to me, manages what was formerly called training and development. It's now called employee engagement and success, as we start to transform the central HR organization. Kelly and her team will be responsible for not only training and development, but for bi-weekly onboarding for our state and RF funded employees. We've created a task force in central HR. I know some of the local HR leaders that will identify that I'm sure many of you already know in just a minute have agreed to participate in that. It will be a 2-day mandatory onboarding to bring people into the organization, introduce them to the vibrancy of the UB campus, share with them not only pay, benefits, processing of I-9s, getting their ID cards, but also inviting other campus stakeholders in EDI, public safety, and a variety of other organizations such as ethics, and just having an ability to meet leaders over that 2-day process before they join. That's our hope as we build that out for everyone. That will be hopefully with an implementation later in 2025. But not to forget the training and development component. There are a number of opportunities for you to learn how to manage people more effectively than maybe you already do today. A variety of semester-wide trainings that I would advocate that you look at on a regular basis. Training is already occurring this morning downstairs. We have people from all over our campuses come for a variety of trainings. So please, take a look, spend some time as you go through the hiring process, but also take a look at it maybe on a regular basis. You can always glean something from these areas and links that might be useful to you longer term. We could go to the next slide. I'm trying to keep us to about 10 to 15 minutes as I committed to Karen and Jill and Allison and everyone. But your school HR leaders. So you'll see Brendan, Lynn, Rachel, and Samantha. They are your first line of help. I would advocate that as you look to building out your teams, looking at any new hires to help you do your research, I would advocate that you reach out to those individuals. I think they can help you be the face of HR and link not only themselves, but you to all the right resources that I quickly summarized in this overview. So with that, I will end the presentation. I would, earlier on, I linked to my phone number, 8155. Our website, called the Administrative Services website, is a place where you can reach out to any of us. But please also just feel free to reach out to any of the HR links. We review those daily, and we are here to help not only support but lead you through the processes that you need to build and grow your research. So thank you for this opportunity today. And I would welcome the opportunity to maybe expand out some training sessions in the future. 10 to 15 minutes never seems enough, but I welcomed it today, and thank you and have a great day.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I understand that you can't do a whole lot in 15 minutes. And we've had a lot of the presenters say, oh, that's not, is there time for questions and answers? Not today, because the idea is just to give a brief overview so you have an idea of who to go to, what's involved, and that sort of thing. So yes, I do agree that more serious onboarding, it would be very welcome for most, because especially I remember long ago when I started, it all comes at once and you forget, and then when it comes to time you're like, oh wait, I didn't know about that. So but I will make these available to everybody. They can have the slide presentation and they with the links embedded, or you can go to straight to the website. So then if you have any questions you can ask them directly. So thank you.